In Ota, Ogun State, people said Aderonke Ajayi was lucky. They said it with smiles. They said it with envy. They said it so often that with time, it stopped sounding like a compliment and began to feel like a curse. Every Sunday after church, women gathered around her the way bees gathered around ripe fruit. Aronke, your husband is trying, oh. See how Kunle still holds your hand after 10 years of marriage. God, when some of us married men, not angels. They laughed. Ronke smiled with them. But every time she did, something inside her tightened quietly. Because if only they knew. If only they knew that the same hand Kunle held so gently in public barely touched her at home. If only they knew that smiles could be practiced, rehearsed, perfected. That happiness could be staged. That comparison, slow and silent, was already strangling her marriage. Kunle Ajayi was the kind of man mothers prayed for when they fasted for their daughters. He was soft-spoken, educated, a civil engineer whose contracts came and went but always returned bigger. He never raised his voice, never smelt of alcohol, never missed church. And Ronke was beauty wrapped in restraint. The kind of woman who spoke gently even when her heart was boiling. A secondary school teacher who marked scripts late into the night, believing that diligence could fix everything, even love. They had been married for 11 years. 2 children, a 3-bedroom flat, a black Toyota Camry that still looked new because Kunle hated scratches. From the outside, their marriage looked like a testimony people wanted to claim. Inside, it was a quiet war no one could hear. The problem did not arrive loudly. It never does. It came quietly, disguised as entertainment, glowing softly from Ronke's phone screen at night while Kunle answered emails beside her. Instagram. Photos of matching pajamas, surprise birthday parties, love notes placed carefully on car dashboards. And then there was Damilola Ogunleye. Damilola, Ronke's former university roommate, the one who borrowed her clothes and never returned them, the one who married 2 years after Ronke, but somehow lived a life that looked shinier, softer, sweeter. Every post was perfection. 13 years with my king, still choosing you every day. Marriage is sweet when you marry your best friend. Without realizing it, Ronke began to measure. Not loudly, not deliberately, but silently. Why didn't Kunle post her? Why didn't he surprise her? Why didn't he look at her the way Femi looked at Damilola? One night, she asked casually, pretending it didn't matter. Kunle, why don't you ever post me? He didn't look up from his laptop. I don't like social media. But Femi is also busy. He still posts Dami. Kunle paused. Then, slowly, he asked, Ronke, is our marriage a competition? She laughed, waved it off, changed the subject. But the seed had already been planted. Comparison did not stop online. It followed her to family gatherings. Her mother would sigh deeply and say, Damilola's husband just built her a duplex in Magodol. An auntie would lean close and whisper, some men still surprise their wives, so Kunle should learn. At school, fellow teachers shared stories. My husband bought me a phone just because I was tired. My own paid for a surprise vacation. Ronke carried all of it home
like an invisible load. Kunle noticed. "You are quiet again," he said one night. "I'm fine." "You've been fine for weeks." Something snapped inside her. "Maybe if you paid attention, you'd know what's wrong." The room went silent. Kunle stood up slowly, his voice calm but tired. "Ronke, who are we competing with?" The question frightened her because she didn't know when her marriage had turned into a race. The turning point came on a Saturday. Damilola's housewarming party in Lekki. The house was massive. White walls, glass railings, soft music, smiling guests. Damilola moved through the crowd like royalty, and Femi followed closely behind her. "Babe, are you okay? Babe, you look tired. Babe, sit down." Roke watched, and something inside her cracked. Later, standing alone near the swimming pool, Damilola joined her. "Ronke, long time." They hugged. "You look good," Damilola said. "You too," Ronke replied, forcing a smile. Damilola leaned closer and whispered, "Marriage is sweeter when your husband understands you." Ronke swallowed hard. That night, she went home angry. Kunle was watching football. She dropped her bag. "So you couldn't even come with me today?" she asked sharply. "You didn't ask me to." "Femi goes everywhere with Damilola." Kunle muted the television. "There it is." "There what?" "You keep mentioning them, Ronke. This is the third time this week." "So what? Am I not allowed to want better?" Kunle stood up. "And who decides what better is?" Her voice trembled. "I'm tired of pretending we're happy." The words fell heavily between them. That was the first night Kunle slept in the guest room. What Ronke didn't know was this. While she envied Damilola's marriage, Damilola cried herself to sleep every night. While she admired Femi's public affection, Femi hadn't touched his wife in months. While she compared gifts and vacations, Damilola was hiding hospital bills and silent fear. Comparison only shows you the front door, never the inner room. But Ronke didn't know. Not yet. 3 weeks later, a message appeared on her phone. Unknown number. "Good evening, ma. Please, I need to see you. It's about Damilola Ogunleyi." Her heart skipped. "Who is this?" she replied. The response came immediately. "Someone who knows the truth behind the marriage you admire." Her hands began to tremble. Kunle was asleep in the guest room. The house was quiet. Ronke stared at her phone, and for the first time since comparison entered her marriage, fear replaced envy. "What truth?" she whispered to herself. Her phone buzzed again. "If you value your marriage, stop comparing. Meet me tomorrow." A location followed. Ronke sat down slowly. Because deep inside her, she already knew something was wrong. And by the time she would finally uncover the truth, her own marriage might already be hanging by a thread. Ronke did not sleep that night. She lay awake, staring at the ceiling, listening to the unfamiliar silence that had settled into her home. Kunle was still in the guest room. His absence felt louder than his presence had ever been. Every tick of the clock reminded her that something precious was slipping through her fingers, slowly, quietly. The message replayed in her mind like a stubborn drumbeat. If you value your marriage, stop comparing. Who was this person? What truth did they know? And why did it feel like a warning sent too late?
By dawn, Ronke had made up her mind. She arrived at the small cafe in Yaba early, her scarf pulled low, sunglasses hiding eyes swollen from crying. She ordered tea she did not touch. Her hands shook slightly as she checked the time again and again. At exactly 2 minutes past 9, a woman walked in and looked straight at her. Slim, dark-skinned, tired eyes that carried stories no one had listened to. "You came," the woman said. Ronke nodded. "You sent the message." "My name is Sade," the woman replied, taking a seat. Ronke frowned. "I don't know you." Sade smiled sadly. "You know my husband." Something inside Ronke went cold. "Femi Ogunleye," Sade said quietly. The cafe seemed to tilt. "For 3 years," Sade continued, her voice calm but worn, "I have been his second wife." Ronke's cup slipped from her fingers and shattered on the floor. "That's not possible," she whispered. "Damilola and Femi are..." "A performance," Sade interrupted gently. "Not a marriage." She pulled out her phone and began to scroll. Pictures Ronke wished she had never seen. Hospital corridors, medical receipts, a familiar face twisted with anger instead of affection. "He married me quietly in Ibadan," Sade said. "Damilola knows. She just pretends she doesn't." Ronke felt sick. All those posts she murmured, the love notes, the trips. Sade laughed, a hollow sound. Sponsored, some by brands, some by loans, some by lies. She leaned forward, lowering her voice. "Last night, after another happy marriage post, Femi beat me because a contract fell through." Ronke gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. "Why are you telling me this?" she asked shakily. "Because you are the woman Damilola always compares herself with, and because I know you compare yourself with her." Ronke could not deny it. She left the cafe feeling as though the ground beneath her had dissolved. Every envy she had nurtured now tasted like poison. Kunle's words returned to her with painful clarity. "Is our marriage a competition?" At home, she met Kunle packing a small bag. "Where are you going?" she asked, panic rising in her chest. Kunle paused. "Ronke, I don't recognize us anymore." "I'm sorry," she said, the words breaking as they left her mouth. He turned, his eyes heavy with pain. "Sorry for what?" She wanted to explain everything, but her phone rang before she could speak. Damilola. Ronke answered and immediately heard sobbing. "He's been arrested," Damilola cried. "The EFCC came this morning." Ronke felt her legs give way. "They took everything," Damilola continued. "The accounts, the cars, everything." The Lekki mansion felt empty when Ronke arrived later that day. The music was gone. The laughter was gone. The perfection had evaporated. Damilola sat on the floor, her hair unkempt, her eyes hollow. "I knew about Sade," she admitted quietly. "Why didn't you leave?" Ronke asked. Damilola laughed bitterly. "And face shame after building an image everyone admired?" She looked up at Ronke. "People like you envied me. That admiration kept me trapped."
tears rolled down Ronke's cheeks. When she returned home that night, Kunle was gone. Only a note remained. I love you, Ronke, but I'm tired of being measured against ghosts. She sank to the floor. Comparison had not only blinded her, it had pushed away the one man who truly loved her. Days passed. No calls, no messages, only silence. Then, one evening, as rain fell heavily, a knock came at the door. Ronke opened it. Kunle stood there, calm, distant, resolved. I'm not here to fight, he said softly. I'm here to decide. Kunle stood in the living room like a stranger who once belonged there. Sit down, he said gently. They sat opposite each other, the space between them filled with everything they had refused to say. I want honesty, Kunle began. Why did you start seeing me as not enough? Ronke inhaled deeply. I forgot who we were, she whispered. I forgot that love doesn't need applause. She told him everything. The scrolling, the measuring, the quiet resentment, the pressure, the truth about Damilola, the message from Sadi. I didn't want another man, Ronke said through tears. I just wanted the kind of marriage people clap for. Kunle leaned back, closing his eyes. So, you wanted an audience, not a partner? Yes, she replied. After a long silence, Kunle spoke again. My father performed marriage for the world and beat my mother in private. I promised myself my home would never be a stage. The weight of his words crushed her. You are protecting us, Ronke sobbed, and I was destroying us. I love you, Kunle said, standing up. But love doesn't heal comparison overnight. He asked for space, for counseling, for time. Ronke agreed. Weeks later, Femi was sentenced. Damilola moved back to her parents' house, stripped of her applause and illusion. When Ronke visited her, Damilola looked smaller, quieter. I thought appearance was everything, she said. I was wrong. Ronke returned home changed. She stopped explaining her marriage, stopped measuring, stopped listening to voices that did not live inside her home. She learned to pray differently. 3 months later, Kunle returned. Not with drama, not with performance, with intention. They rebuilt quietly. One Sunday after church, a woman smiled at Ronke and said, I admire your marriage. Ronke smiled back. She did not explain, because she finally understood. A marriage is not proven by admiration. It is preserved by protection. And the marriage you envy today may be the pain you escape tomorrow.